What does it mean to be in the key of something? For example, this song is in the key of G. What does it mean? Well, let's understand that a bit more. What it means is that simply every chord that's played, or harmonically any melody that is played or sung, revolves around that singular note, in this case, the G. If you think of G like home base, everything, the melody and every musical aspect wants to get back home. Every chord that's played harmonically has the G chord as the very core. You could say that every chord wants to get back to G. Every moment of the song, musically, melodically, harmonically, has its home chord in mind. It is the ground in which the song plays or dances on. This is the first question one person should ask themselves when working on a song. What key is this song in? Or more specifically, where's the foundational note or chord that is tying these other chords together? For each key, there are 7 chords that complete it. These chords are found along each note of a major scale. So, da 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 da, for each of those notes, da 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 da. That completes the key of G for most modern, music, pop music or worship music or rock music. So an octave has 8 notes, the 8th one though being the first one again. So technically 7 unique notes. Again, the 8th one, da 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 da, being the first again, just an octave higher. So for every chord, da 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 da, for every chord that makes its way around the scale, we can organize that in the circle of chords. So as a musician, you want to learn these keys and how these chords go with when someone says this is in the key of G. You want that immediately to open a folder in your brain that says, okay, I understand the key of G. I know that it has these chords in it, specifically the most important ones. And those chords are the first one in the key, number 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th one in the key, and the 5, and the 6 minor. Every key is going to have this relationship with, have chords that relate to it in this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You can hear how that chord is lifted to the 4th position. So the 4 most common chords within this circle are the first one, which is the key that you're in, the 4th one, the 5th one, and the 6th one, which is always what we call the 6 minor. And the 6 minor is the most common minor in the key. For example, in the key of G, the key of G's favorite minor is E minor, which is what we call the 6 minor. Why do we call it a 6? Again, the E minor is 6 notes away from G, if G is number 1. If I sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do you hear how that minor was in that 6th position? So when learning a new song or a new key, it's good practice to learn these 4 most common chords in that key and listen to how they relate with each other, how they get along with each other. Then branch out to the other chords in the circle. But let's go back to the first question you should always ask yourself when working on a song, and that is, what key is this in? Once that's established, then you can think about the circle of chords in that key. And think about the most common ones, which again is the 1, 4, 5, and 6 minor. Then figuring out the song gets much easier. Again, the guessing game is much less an issue. So the second question to ask yourself, once you've figured out what key it's in, is, again, what are those main 4 chords in this key? These 4 chords should be memorized for these 5 keys. You want to think about the 4 most common chords that go with the key of A, the key of C, the key of D, the key of E, and the key of G. These are the 5 most common keys that we play in on the guitar. If you can play in these 5 keys and understand the circle of chords that surround them, and know what their favorite 4 chords are in each key, you'll be a much more prepared and aware musician. These concepts are the foundation for any aspiring artist. If you get these down, you'll be much more powerful. You'll be much more powerful than even maybe the next guy next to you that maybe has been played for decades or longer, but they don't understand how keys work. They just see chords as random placements on the song. But when you see them in the key, you'll gain more knowledge and it'll open up more doors. For example, okay, then what scales do I know? Or what other cool shapes do I know in this key? You can predetermine those before you start playing the song. So you can be empowered with the song before you even start playing it. And that's the goal, to be empowered, because knowledge is power. I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Jacob Paul with Inside Out Online, and make sure you subscribe and throw a comment in there. I want to talk to you. See you on that next video.